You know what, man? Let me get another cup of coffee before we do this. Breaking news. After 13 seasons, James Harden has announced his retirement from the NBA. A source close to James has informed NBA officials. The source, to be more specific, is Cinnamon from the Yellow Rose Gentlemen's Club in Austin, Texas, but a source nonetheless. James Harden wants to focus on his wine brand, a wine bottle with his face on it that wine drinkers are probably not interested in, and non-wine drinkers are also probably not interested in. Another source, Cherokee the Queen, has informed us that James Harden has hit rock bottom and has been sleeping in the VIP room and is still being charged a private dance fee of $300 per hour since July.
Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros.
Oh! What is this situation? Obviously, that intro was fake. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen. This is Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Algo Gang, do your thing. Hit the like button on the video. Put something in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Only 30% of people that watch these videos are subscribed. All you gotta do is hit that little red subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. Turn your notification bell on. And let's get into the business, man. All right, so yesterday, Adrian Wojnarowski woke up, choosing violence and decided to tweet an absolute bomb that then people blew up my DMs with. And it's just another layer of absolute debauchery in this Sixers James Harden saga situation. According to Wojnarowski, ESPN sources, the 76ers have ended trade talks on guard James Harden and plan to bring him back to training camp for the start of the season. The Sixers had periodic offseason conversations with the Clippers, Harden's desired destination, but no traction on a deal materialized because nobody wants to give up anything for a 33-year-old out-of-shape quitter. He didn't say that. Sixers and Harden agreed to seek a trade together after Harden picked up his player option for 2023-2024, but Philly believes it has a championship team with Harden and wants to find a way to make it work with him this season. Now, I have an 8-year-old son, and I'm teaching him every day there is a difference between wants and needs. There is a difference between wants and reality. The Sixers can want to bring James Harden back. The Sixers can claim they want to bring him back. They could say, well, we're better. We have a better championship window with James Harden. Yeah, with James Harden if he wants to play. Harden has been emphatic in wanting a trade. So the Sixers are setting up an uncomfortable situation to start training camp. Ultimately, Philadelphia wouldn't make a trade that they believe would compromise their title hopes. Again, you need James Harden to want to play. I agree. They are still a title contender if James Harden would tuck his tail between his legs, except that his plan didn't work. Come back in great shape, play hard, and try to win. They have great title chances. I agree with that. What we're saying is, and what James is saying, James is probably sitting here like, I told him I don't want to play. Why do they keep saying this? When I said I'm not coming. He's not coming back. Anyway, and I said this, I've been saying this, but when the news first dropped, I said this, and shout out to Mackie Noel on Instagram, which, by the way, you guys DM me all the time, Instagram, Twitter, wherever, sending me links, sending me articles, whatever you find, and you maybe I haven't seen it yet. I love that. I love that you guys hit me up. You keep me in the loop even when maybe I'm busy and I'm not paying attention. So I appreciate it, and I always want to shout you guys out when I can get the chance. Shout out to Mackie Noel. He said, you'll be happy to know your buddy James is coming back, my guy. And I said, says the Sixers. That's what I mean, bro. The Sixers can claim they want James Harden back. That doesn't mean he's coming back. He has to want to come back. And he said he doesn't even want to report to training camp dark times because the report came out at 9:18 or right around 9 o'clock, and then he messaged me this, and then the other report about James not wanting to come back came out around 10 o'clock, and he said that. I'm just saying, says the Sixers. James has to want to come back. James Harden's agent expects Harden to come into next season in the best shape of his career and wouldn't be surprised if... We're not even going to comment on that one. So shortly after the Woj bomb comes out, Sam Amick says, you know what, let me join in this firing squad war of reporters. And Sam Amick, who writes for Yahoo Sports, Sam Amick, I'm sorry, senior NBA writer of The Athletic, USA Today, Sports Illustrated, Fan House, he says, even with the Sixers ending trade talks on James Harden, the disgruntled star still has no plans on playing for Philly, and his stance remains unchanged. So I click on The Athletic, where I pay $1.99 a month to read these articles for you. And here's what we got. Sam says this: no matter what signals the Sixers might send when it comes to trade talks, a source close to Harden reiterated that the 10-time All-Star and former MVP no longer wants to play for the Philadelphia 76ers and has no plans of taking part in training camp. Does that mean he won't report if a deal doesn't go down by that point, or that he'll make a messy spectacle of his training camp arrival like he did when he was trying to get out of Houston? That part remains unclear, with Harden's side still expressing a belief that there will be meaningful developments on trade talks before that time comes. The source spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the sensitivity of the situation. At minimum, this is clear. Trade talks between Philadelphia and the Clippers clearly have been stagnant. Once again, you are dealing with an egomaniac. James Harden is not going to admit that his plan didn't work and he has to come back to Philadelphia, say sorry to everybody, and make it happen. Egomaniacs do not do that. They do not admit that when they were wrong. They do not apologize. He's going to stand his ground. I have dealt, and some of you probably have dealt with people like this. They will take something to their grave before they admit they were wrong. James Harden's ego has now made him delusional. And it's honestly, from the outside looking in, it's embarrassing for James Harden what's happening right here. You requested a trade. The Sixers agreed to trade you. Nobody offered anything! Bro, they won't even give us Terrence Mann. So I'm sitting here every day saying, no, James, nobody wants to give up anything for you because you're a 33-year-old out-of-shape quitter. And you're a loser. You never won anything. Cool. You foul-baited for 10 years to average 35 points per game in the regular season. Nobody gives a shit besides the little dorks on Twitter with your profile, with your picture as their profile picture. Nobody cares. So nobody offers us anything, and Daryl says, I can't just trade you. I can't trade you for Robert Covington, James. So there's no trade offer. Daryl's forced to say, I can't trade you. And now James is mad because he didn't get the contract that he was promised, because we thought you can't give someone a 4-year max contract when they stunk it up the way they did in the playoffs. The worst player on the floor for 4 out of 7 games. For all of you that keep telling me about the 2 great games, he had 4 horrendous ones. There's no contract. There's no trade offer. We can't trade you. He's going to sit back and say, well, then I'm not showing up to training camp. Then what is your plan then? Who are you mad at? In the words of the legend Funk Flex, who are you mad at? Me or yourself, James? Me or yourself? That's what Daryl Morey's saying. Who are you mad at? Me or yourself? There's no trade offer. There's no contract we can give you. What are you going to do? What's your plan? He doesn't have a plan. Now he's just being a little crybaby because he's wrong. And now this. A separate clause in the new CBA that's actually pretty crazy. And shout out to Rip Slumpy, at Rip Slumpy on Twitter, for posting this. Because when the Ben Simmons thing went down, I was like, what are they going to put in the new CBA that's going to prevent players from doing this? And I never found out what it was, because what was the new CBA, 700 pages? I ain't reading that shit. I didn't even read books when they told me to read them in school. You know what I'm saying? I'm not reading no 700-page CBA. Here you go. A separate clause in the CBA, which existed in prior versions of the agreement, holds that any player who withholds playing services for more than 30 days after the start of last season covered by his contract could be deemed to have violated his contract and prohibited from entering free agency or signing with any other professional basketball team unless and until the team with which the player last played expressly agrees otherwise. The rule allows incumbent teams to block any player deemed in violation from entering free agency and signing elsewhere, including with professional teams outside the NBA, league sources confirmed to ESPN. So this is different than the Ben Simmons situation because he wasn't a free agent. He was just starting a 4-year contract, and they were forced to trade him. If a player's about to become a free agent and they try to pull this, the team can prevent that player from becoming a free agent and signing with another team. Once again, James Harden, you are putting the nail in the coffin of your own career. You are putting the nail in the coffin of your own career. Who's going to want you? If you sit out training, if Daryl Morey sits back and says, we're not doing it, we're going to force him to come to training camp, and he doesn't come to training camp, and he sits back and refuses to come to training camp, what team is going to want you, James? What team? This video has offered no solution whatsoever. We're still in purgatory. But I would say, the Sixers are better off right now with James Harden sitting out and us doing another, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid with no point guard, like we did when Ben Simmons sat out. Not that he was actually a point guard. Then trading him for Robert Covington. I mean, I don't know the solution. There's the latest. There's my reaction to it. It just keeps getting better. Oh, man. I don't know what else to say, man. Y'all have a fantastic day. We will continue the offseason as things like this pop up. Subscribe, like, share, follow on social media, Instagram, Twitter, at Run It Back Philly. Love you all. Hit the like button one more time. I guess you can't hit it twice, but, have a good day. We out of here.